You know the great old saying, were it not for double standards, liberals would have no standards at all, right? Every school child knows that, right, Mercy?
That's clever. I like that, Chris. Okay, tragedy struck Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin yesterday, where a student and teacher were killed and 6 more were injured during a shooting during school hours yesterday. Police say the suspect in the shooting, who they identified as 15-year-old Natalie Rupnow, who also used the name Samantha or Sam online, was a student at the school and was also shot dead at the scene. But Democrats wasted no time crying over gun control, despite the fact that the shooter was 15 years old, and both Wisconsin and federal laws already make it illegal for someone under 18 to own a firearm. Here's Kamala Harris this afternoon.
We as a nation must renew our commitment to end the horror of gun violence, both mass shootings and everyday gun violence that touches so many communities in our nation.
In a statement, Joe Biden yesterday called on Congress to pass gun safety laws and an assault weapons ban, despite police saying the shooter used a 9mm handgun in the school shooting. This coming from the same president that just pardoned his own son, Hunter, for violating federal gun laws. Wisconsin Congressman Mark Pocan also joined in on the calls for gun control, posting on X, "More action is needed by our elected officials and more backbone to stand up to gun manufacturers." A reminder that none of these or other Democrats made a peep about banning guns after United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was gunned down from behind in New York City a couple of weeks ago. As we've been showing you here on the Right Squad, several Democrats have actually tried to justify that shooting. So, Jason, let me ask you, why the difference between you see Kamala Harris calling for gun control with the shooting that happened in the school versus, for example, what we saw with the shooting with the United Healthcare CEO?
So as I stated yesterday, first of all, Democrats have wanted to ban ghost guns, which is the type of weapon that was used in the shooting of Brian Thompson. When he got shot in the back, it was somebody who ordered off of a 3D printer.
So why did they talk about gun control when he got shot?
And they were certainly, we've been throughout the entire time talking about banning ghost guns. Also, we know that children are our greatest resource. You and I have enough children between us to know that. And, 12 children a day die from gun violence. 32 more are shot and injured. So, and 338,000 children have experienced gun violence at school since Columbine in 1999. This is a problem. Now, I'm with you guys on one accord that I don't think it's the gun. A lot of people focus on the type of gun.
Right.
And I am pro 2A. I think people should have access to guns. The only thing is, not everybody needs access to guns. And also, parents have to be responsible in the way they store their guns. There are statistics, if you go to Sandy Hook Promise, they have statistics on the guns that people keep loaded and unlocked in their homes with children that have access to them. So this is a real problem that we have to acknowledge. And common sense gun control does not mean banning all guns. That's not what it means. It means common sense gun control.
But, this is the typical position of the left. They want to go after the gun manufacturers, obviously try to get that, bankrupt the gun manufacturers, and they are blaming the gun, Samantha.
Yeah, well, Jason, I would just say, I think we both agree that when children are massacred in this way, it is a tragedy, which is why I want to know, why would the Democrats refuse to bring to the floor Senator Ted Cruz's bill, the Secure Our Schools Act, which would have fortified and provided hundreds of millions of dollars for school security as well as mental health treatment to prevent school shootings? It makes one very, very cynical about whether the Democrats actually care about keeping students in schools safe or whether they just want to use continuing to talk about banning guns as a political talking point. As we also pointed out, the shooter was 15 years old, so a gun control would not have prevented her from obtaining the gun in this instance. Right. And I would also point out, we've already got safe storage laws in all 50 states dealing with how adults are responsible for storing guns when there are children
And
around.
mental health, I think, being a big issue on the gun, when you see these tragic
But other countries
shootings.
have mental health issues, just like the United States, but they don't have school shooting issues.
Information, truth, is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.